Your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways, call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital, peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host.
Coming up next, we hear from Hope for Today Foundation. And later in the program, we'll have open lines so you can tell me what's on your mind. Stay with me. Talk Today next on Radio Cayman.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. Glad you could join me. Coming down here to the radio station, the traffic is everywhere. You have to wonder, is anybody actually working? Because they all seem to be out here on the road. Yeah, it's that time of year. Christmas just around the corner, and people are buzzing back and forth, getting everything that they need to get done. Everybody's getting into that holiday spirit. And how some people cope with that is going to be the subject of this first segment here. Joining me in the studio right now is Brent Hides. He's the operations manager at the Hope for Today Foundation, and also Dr. Alexandra Bodden. She's a clinical psychologist at On Course Cayman. Good afternoon. Welcome to the studio.
Hey, good afternoon, Charlo.
Yes.
So, I would say most of us are looking forward to the festive season. We're going to have a glass or two of wine with the Christmas dinner, a shot of rum with the
Some
eggnog.
people are going to have 2 glasses of wine.
Yeah, maybe even 3. And of course, New Year's Eve, we'll be toasting with some champagne. What's life like, though, for those who are recovering from addiction with all that temptation and festivity around? What are they going through?
Well, there's a lot of options available to those in recovery. A lot of the suggestions that we make during these times is to stay close to family and friends that does know that you're in recovery. That they don't try to force you to engage in alcohol, drugs, etc. They're more protective of their loved ones, to hold their hand, to be with them, particularly if they were invited to a party somewhere. Then you can invite a friend that's supportive. It's important to realize that addiction will hold you hostage. It'll take you for a ride. And there are times when we would recognize our friends and our families out there that are drinking and they seem to be having such a great time. I think sometimes what we forget is those individuals that struggle with substance abuse issues and alcohol, that they do have their struggles and their problems also. And sometimes we have to recognize that they use this alternative to cope with their issues. Not saying they're addicted to alcohol or drugs, but every individual that I'm aware of, we all struggle with our own individual problems. During the holidays, we just have to be mindful, if we are in recovery, where we go, the friends we keep, and the places we try to attend, If we try to attend parties, always remember you can't take a loud one, you can't carry a friend that doesn't know that you're in recovery. Continue to stay vigilant of your surroundings. And it's okay to show up for 15, 20 minutes and be a skilled to excuse yourself and say, this is not my type of event. What I've learned over the years in recovery, that a lot of the stuff that I taught, that I liked, as I got clean and sober, I realized those things are not so important anymore. And a lot of those things I just don't like. I've had to learn to be selective of the things that I choose to participate in, the friends I choose to keep. Because I got to remember, I got to protect my recovery, my sobriety at all costs, and to be selfish with it. And I say selfish because I have to protect myself at all costs. When I drug and drink, I lose, and I got to remember that.
Dr. Bond, what have you observed with patients that you may have had to counsel during this time of year?
Yeah, I think the holidays, whereas there's a lot of things that we often look forward to, being mindful that there's a lot of stress that comes with this time of year as well. Even if it is, quote unquote, just the traffic and the busyness that comes with these times, we have changes in routines, high expectations. There's also a lot of emotional things that come with the holidays of it dredges up all the stuff from the past and what it used to be like with family, especially if we've lost some family members, what we want it to be like, what it could have been like, what it, quote unquote, should be like. So there's a lot of things that come with the holidays that can be stressors for people. And so a lot of times when I'm working with clients, a lot of times it is planning ahead, right? Mr. Brent referenced, having a plan when you get there. I spend a lot of time with clients working with whether it's substance abuse or even with anxiety, depression, all of that. It's going to be knowing high-risk situations, what's coming up, what can we do? Is there something that we can do to make that family dinner be more tolerable? Do we have to go to the family dinner? If we're going to go, we can decide who we go with, how we go, have an exit plan if there's something that might come up that you're not comfortable with or something that's going to trigger you. But being aware of those things and making a plan is normally the best bet. So we work with new ways of managing stress. So anytime that we use substances, it's, as Mr. Brent referenced, it's maladaptive coping, right? It's some way of trying to get through, to either deal with stress, connect with people, to socialize. There's a lot of things that come up. Culture and tradition has a lot, often involves a lot of substance use as well. So being aware of that and coming up with a plan for either more helpful ways of coping, maybe going for a run before you go to the lunch. If it's socializing, practicing your people skills and the small talk, or taking a close friend with you to help with the conversations can be helpful. If it is the toast at New Year's, what am I going to do? I'm not drinking this year. Making a plan for something that you're comfortable with, whether it's going to be sparkling grape juice, or just how to have the conversations that you're not going to do the toast with a drink like that this year, and why you might have a big glass of fruit punch instead. So a lot of it is going to be kind of planning ahead, but a lot of that groundwork can be done beforehand, before being in the moment. Yeah.
We have to take a little break here, but we'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
It's the most wonderful time of the year. Come visit Penha, the ultimate holiday shopping destination. From December 7 until December 24, come to Penha and drop off your letter to Santa and let him know why you should win Penha's amazing Christmas prizes this year. While you're there, enjoy a fun-filled holiday shopping experience for your loved ones. Earn points while you shop, plus free gifts with purchase and free gift wrapping and so much more. Visit us at one of our two convenient locations, 40 Cardinal Avenue or The Grove at 1358 West Bay Road. Make this Christmas one to remember at Penha. Penha, where the holiday magic comes alive. Don't miss out on the festive fun and amazing prizes. See you soon.
Ho, ho, ho! Still searching for the perfect gift or that comfy couch to curl up on this holiday season? Beacon Furniture at Plaza Venetia, North Sound Road near China Village, is your one-stop holiday happiness shop. From gorgeous living and dining rooms to bedroom sets, outdoor furniture, candles, and a wide selection of home accessories, we've got something for everyone on your list. Stop by our showroom, meet our cheerful elves, friendly staff, and let us make your holiday shopping fast, fun, and oh so festive. Call 943-2500 today and let Beacon Furniture help you slay this holiday season.
The Department of Agriculture advises the public of their new operating hours for the Grand Cayman Commercial Center, formerly known as the Sales Warehouse, and the Plant Nursery. Effective December 1st, 2025, the new hours are Monday to Friday from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m., Saturdays from 8:30 a.m. to 12:30 p.m. The facilities will be closed on Sundays and public holidays. The DOA thanks you for your continued support.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and I'm talking to Brent Hides and Dr. Alexandra Bodden about how people who are recovering from addictions cope during this festive time of year. Both of you mentioned about family, but even those who aren't recovering, who don't have an addiction problem, sometimes have a family problem.
They got a loneliness problem.
Is that another layer of complication with people who are recovering, that maybe they don't have that relationship?
I think it's important that we recognize the fact that we live in a society where the stigma that surrounds substance abuse is wide, and we have to understand that friends and family are important in these times, and it's important to stay close to friends and family. We got to recognize the fact that people that have engaged in substance abuse has lost a lot of connections. Their relationships are broken. Plenty of times their family and friends may not want to associate with them because of the damage they have done. Sometimes after getting into recovery, those relationships starts to heal and they start to get better, and that's a great thing. Of course, there's still that trust issue. Am I going to invite you to my home to come, associate, eat food? Because remember, some of these individuals have been into people's homes and they've carried away their TV, carried away their cell phone, carried away their money. One bad slip, one bad movement, and that cycle could start all over again. But we have to allow and give these individuals a chance to prove themselves. We just can't shut the door because we've been burnt by a family member. As long as they are in recovery and they're trying to make the necessary changes in their lives, we must provide and encourage and support. So for where I'm sitting, we look at we look at Christmas time, we look at New Year's. Like Hope for Today Foundation puts on a game night on Christmas Eve where people can come play games, eat food, hang out if they feel they don't have a safe environment. Because a lot of these people out there, they are in broken relationships with their family right now. Sometimes their family really, really have had enough. We think that because we are in recovery and has made some necessary changes, that our family should embrace them, but that's not always the case. They have been burnt so bad, and I've heard so many promises, and the lies continue. And it goes on and on and on, and the families to the place where they've just been hurt.
So they've drawn the line.
Yeah, they just ain't going to deal with it anymore. So we got to be mindful that not because we're sober or not because we're working recovery, that our family members and our friends are going to say, "Come on over," you know.
If I may add, I completely agree with that, but also going the other way as well. Yeah. You know, when I'm working with someone, we'll talk about which family parties are you going to attend, right? Because the other thing is a lot of times there's going to be difficulties with some of the family members as well. Sometimes the family home is going to be a trigger. Right, that's often where they started drinking or may have first been exposed to drugs. And a lot of times there are difficult relationships, right? And so that's why even as we're getting into recovery, looking at relationships, what can we salvage? And there might be some that we maybe don't. And that can be a really difficult conversation. And obviously once you're in recovery and in a clear mind, you can work with someone in deciding how to navigate those kinds of situations. But if you know that perhaps there's like a family dinner where there's some highly conflictual family members, either making a plan to not go there this year or making a plan for how to navigate those conversations would be something that can be done as well. So like if I've got, and those are all the options we explore as well. At times there's high expectations, like you have to be at Aunt Jenny's dinner. We have to open presents at Grandma's house. There's certain expectations that are put on us that we feel like we have to do. But that, you know, once we're adults, there are options and there's ways of how to go about doing things and when we go and where we go and who we take with us as well. So while we are working to repair relationships, and it's important to be mindful of harms that have been done in the past while we were using, I'd say also being mindful the other way too, right? That sometimes maybe you're fresh in recovery and the family dinner's not worth it this year. Maybe you opt for the game night for other people who are in recovery that are supporting your goals, right? Because a big part of recovery is changing people, places, and things, right? And so building a new support system, finding new ways of having fun, finding new ways of dealing with stress, and having people that support that. So I think a lot of it is kind of seeing opportunities and options that maybe we didn't see there before. And building confidence and setting some boundaries as well, or navigating the difficult conversations when we are trying to repair things as well. And dealing with the hurt that might come from the initial rejection. So there's a lot of levels that come with family for everyone. And all of that is intensified on both sides come the holidays.
For families, are they're kind of, I guess, waiting for that person to prove themselves? Prove that you've got it conquered this time, that you're going to keep the promise?
Well, that's usually some of the conversations that you would hear even in the rooms of recovery, or even when someone gets into recovery, you would hear them say, "I'll never do it again." For me, it's not that I'll never do it again. It's I will try not to let it happen again, because I got to remember that I fight a disease that wants me dead. It jumps on my shoulder and it tells me a lot of lies where I can sit down and I can even talk to myself and answer my own questions. But what I do recognize to the fact is that I didn't wake up one morning and decided today I was going to set out to be an alcoholic or drug addict. There's something that happened in my life, some pain, resentment, some problem, some relationship, something that went wrong, that I had to find a coping mechanism, and usually drugs and alcohol done that. I can also share with you that many years ago, in my life, there was a lot of stuff going on and I didn't know how to deal with it. What I know was if you put me on a football field, that was where I felt most comfortable. And it's something that I became good at, and something that took my mind off of actually looking at the issue itself. But when I had my first drink, that it left my lips and headed down to my stomach, and when it dropped in my stomach, the warmth when it hit my belly kind of told me, wow, where was this? Where was this all of this time? And once I found that solution, I continued to chase it.
And that was on the first drink?
That was on the first drink. Because it made my inside feel so warm and so sweet and so relaxed. It was like, wow, where was this? And then, like I said, I continued to chase it, and I chased it, and it just got worse. You know, you find yourself in places and doing stuff, selling yourself short, in places and doing things that you never dreamed that you would probably ever do, or things that you saw other people do, and you say, I know I won't do that, but you end up doing it anyway. So then again, you have to ask yourself this question: how did I get here? How and why? Why and how did I ever get here? And basically because there was issues. There were circumstances in your life that you needed to meditate. You needed to work on, try to get it taken care of, that you just didn't know how to deal with. And at the particular time, particularly in Cayman, at that time, what you found was substance abuse, the stigma surrounding substance abuse, that nobody wanted to talk about it. Nobody wanted to open up and actually be honest with themselves, say, I'm struggling. You ask them how they're doing, say, I'm okay, I'm doing all right. That's the typical response.
And the people around them didn't want to talk about it either?
Well, usually, how do we help somebody that says, I'm fine, and doesn't want to open up? And that's the problem we have in Cayman, even with the therapists that work here. If you have somebody that's going into treatment or working with a therapist, and they're not being honest, how can the therapist help you? I mean, if you're going into a therapist session and you're just constantly feeding the therapist a bunch of lies rather than saying, hey, this is what's going on, they can't help you. You have to get honest with yourself and the people around you in order for them to actually give you the suggestions and give you the tools to maintain a level of sobriety and to be able to address your issues.
We'll be right back after these messages.
Cybersecure with Cayman National. Protect your computers and mobile devices with security software to defend against cyber attacks through viruses, malware, and other online threats. Be aware of unsecure Wi-Fi connections when in public. If you need to access your online banking or sensitive information on your mobile devices, try disabling the Wi-Fi and switching to data from your mobile network. If you suspect a fraud attempt, please contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Kim and Brack and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
She hear clunk and her car stop. I was just about to send her some money, so I send it straight to her JN Money Transfer card. It cost me less, and perhaps she use the card, pay the garage right away. She'll get discount through the JN Rewards program in Jamaica. This card make things easy. You can even get funds at any multi-link ATM.
JN Money Transfer Card. Fast, affordable, convenient. Tell your loved ones in Jamaica about it. Sign up is free.
Keep it hot, hot, hot with Hot Zone this Christmas. 2 locations, Cannon Place Industrial Park and Lamar Village in West Bay. Christmas sale up to 50% off. Gift certificates, footwear, club and World Cup jerseys, Nike, Puma, Reebok and Adidas. Raffle entries with every purchase and new stock daily. Hot Zone Sports. Open late, Cannon Place Industrial Park and Lamar Village in West Bay. Radio Cayman's Talk Today.
What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and in the studio with me is Brent Hides from Hope for Today Foundation and Dr. Alexandra Bodden, clinical psychologist at On Course Cayman. Dr. Bodden, is there any kind of common thread that runs through addiction of various clients that you see, or is the human spectrum just too wide?
All humans are different, but every person's got their own story and their own background. But I also think that there's often things that we can relate to, which is how programs like AA and NA can be so helpful, because a lot of times addiction is isolating. Right? People often do it in secret or connect with other people. They hide it from families. There's a lot of secretiveness that goes to it. And so being able to connect with other people with similar experiences can be so helpful. These days, anything that we look at with substance use or mental health, we look at something called the diathesis stress model, and that there tends to be biological predispositions for things, for substance use, for impulsivity. But then there's going to be environmental triggers that bring these things out. And obviously, the environment that we're raised in will also influence things like our exposure to drugs and alcohol. Did mom and dad drink at home? Was there someone around that had drugs? Did we live in a neighborhood where drugs were easily available? What coping skills were modeled at home? Did mom and dad have healthy ways of recognizing and expressing emotions, of dealing with stress, of resolving conflicts, right? There's so much that goes into the things that are needed to function as an adult. But a lot of times what we see is that the homes, maybe there wasn't. Obviously, everyone's different. Sometimes people have, quote unquote, a great family life and still end up with addictions. But a lot of times there's stress at home, or they have exposure to substances from before, or different kinds of attitudes towards substances. I know that NDCs, that's a lot of what they look at is attitudes that are presented in home, and what the parents think about. But knowing that a lot of times it's feeling less than is a very common thing that I hear with working with people in recovery, is that they don't feel good enough. And so it's a way of them being able to deal with their stress, or to feel like they're able to connect with others, or to feel in control of things.
So self-esteem is a big issue? That
can be a big part of it. Not being able to manage stress, not being able to connect with people genuinely, or trying to deal with some past traumas that they've been exposed to as well. Right. So I think that that's a big part that I've learned in working with people with addictions, is that there's always a reason. There's always a reason why people get into it, right? And so understanding the why that people are drinking or using drugs is helpful. And that's where we as therapists start, wanting to understand, what does it do for you, right? People don't do it because they want to destroy their lives and their family and lose their job, right? There's something that it does for them, and getting to the bottom of that is where therapy starts. And joining with the person and meeting them where they're at. We talked about, Mr. Brent referenced people who are, so in therapy we call it pre-contemplation. They don't see it as a problem, right? And so when people are still in denial about what's going on, they're very quick to deflect or just say what they have to do to get through the system. But once people are willing to, if they're able to connect with the therapist and talk about what's going on, and talk about what it does for them, they'll also generally then begin to talk about the problems that it causes as well. But if we come in as therapists, hard-hitting, you have to quit smoking, you have to quit drinking, you have to quit using, we become just like everyone else. They quickly put up a wall and can give you 10 reasons why they're not going to listen, and they're not making any changes. And so there's actually a different therapeutic approach called motivational interviewing, which helps to understand what's going on and meet the person where they're at, right? So if they're in that stage, building rapport and having them feel comfortable to see that we're not like everyone else is the first step. right? And then figuring out, because I say you can't take away something until you put something else in to replace it. Otherwise, we end up with what's often referenced as a dry drunk. Some people can quit drinking or quit using, but if they don't put in alternative coping skills or alternative interpersonal skills, then they're just going about the day without actually being fully in recovery.
Yeah, we're talking about good habits.
Yeah.
Now, I had asked that when a person's in recovery, the family's standing by waiting for them to prove themselves that they're going to make it this time. But during the break, you were saying that, to me, that by the time someone is in recovery, the family's been through so much, they're waiting for them to relapse because they know they've been through so much time. What would you say to families that are coping with a family member recovering?
So it can be hard. Mr. Brent referenced how damaging addiction can be to relationships. And so it can be really hard to believe that this is going to be the time. It's hard to be supportive. But I think that's where I think education for the family can be really helpful as well. And so having them to understand what's going on for the person. Substance use is often closely tied to mental illness. So whether they're suffering with anxiety or depression or trying to deal with some kinds of trauma that's in the past, helping them to understand what's going on for the person and having them as well learn more helpful ways of supporting what's going on. It's not going to be, a lot of times in the Caribbean, we use shame and guilt to have people to bring family members back in line. But shame and guilt actually pushes people away and adds to the feelings and the negativity that they're already experiencing inside. So sometimes it can be helpful for them to have some coaching on what to do, or even if it's just to be like, hey, could you call your sponsor? So like a lot of times, especially like if they have family members that are supportive, like I'll work with them coming up to the holidays. Like I'll have a plan with my client of high-risk situations and ways of dealing with them. I'll also rope in a family member like, hey, these are the situations we're worried about and this is how you can help. So that it can be helpful for them to understand what's going on, what the person's going through, and how they can be helpful. I think especially, so some families where maybe there's a lot of conflict at the home, there's high expressed emotion, we call it, that can be a huge weight on the person and extremely triggering to go back home and be criticized or anything like that, or wherever it is, back to an old relationship or back to the workplace, wherever it is. So making plans for those ahead of time can be helpful. But
do you all think that most people, most families that have a family member that is addicted, do they see it as a disease, or is it just a personality flaw? Because I know a lot of people just look at people as,
They say sometimes they see it as a mental deficiency.
Yeah.
So what I would look at as families that I've worked closely with, and what I've seen and experienced over time, they know something is wrong. They know something is wrong. They just don't know what it is. They may see a person that drinks too much because they've experienced it over time, where they've seen their fathers, their mothers, their sisters, their brothers, and they've seen the problems that it brought. Now to see that in maybe a child or a young man or a young woman that seems to take a similar path. What I've understood is that they've seen the child go through some changes in their lives, and all of a sudden they may fall into the grips of addiction, and then they ask themselves, why and how did this happen? And sometimes what I've understood by working with people is because the families have gotten so busy that the child has kind of been left on their own to try to fend for themselves, where they find themselves engaging in and maybe illegal activity, hanging out with the wrong crowds. Dr. Barton spoke about it, trying to find that self-acceptance in so many areas that eventually they became addicted to drugs and alcohol, and that's where the struggle begins. And the family probably most of the time would ask themselves this question: where did they go wrong? And it probably wasn't anything that they really did that was wrong. It was just something that happens where the kid fell through the cracks. How many times it's not what we did, is what we didn't do.
How do you see it? Do people recognize it as a disease?
So the disease approach is one theory within the field. It's definitely the one subscribed to by AA and NA, and that approach is something that many people find helpful. There are some other thinkings as well that see it a bit differently, but either way, knowing that it's a way of trying to cope with something that's going on is generally what I try to educate families on, and helping them to understand what's going on. If they're willing to look at how they may have been a part of it, that's good, but how they can be helpful moving forward is generally a big discussion that we may have. So there are some other, like AA and NA also only subscribe to abstinence, which is generally the goal even for therapy, but there are some other approaches such as harm reduction, which would be looking at, even if we can't commit to abstinence yet, looking at cutting back drinking, cutting back on our use, as we're beginning to build the coping skills and building the social support networks as well. So there's different approaches to it. Some people think you can get better from it and then it's done, but much of the field subscribes to the disease model, but I just thought I would just put that out there.
Brent, if someone's looking for help, can they just come to Hope for Today? Or
they can reach out.
They have to be referred?
Well, they can reach out to me at 928-9099. But we got the counseling center. Cayman is lucky today because in Cayman today we have many treatment offices, counselors, counseling center, Caribbean Haven. You got probation and rehabilitation. I mean, there's so many places that you can reach out today for help. You got the Bridge Foundation, you got the Hope for Today Foundation, you got On Course Cayman, you got Infinite Mind Care. There's so many offices in Cayman today that focuses on rehabilitation and mental health. You got the Alex Panton Foundation. If you're seeking help in the Cayman Islands for whatever the issue may be, you can find it. It goes back again. How do we get someone to be honest with what's really going on in their life and actually take the steps to reach out for help? Because too many times we think we can solve all of these issues on our own, and they just keep getting worse and worse and worse until we find ourselves into the courts. Once the courts get a hold of us, then the court may try to find a solution. And sometimes it doesn't matter how you get the help once you get it. So if you have to get it through the courts, that's fine too. But if you're struggling with addiction or any side of mental health, reach out to one of the entities that focuses on rehabilitation. Get the help you need, because life can be sweet and life can be better.
Yeah. Well, I'd say there's no wrong way to start either. The Counseling Center has free services, and they're available at 949-8789. And you just call and set up an appointment free to anyone in Cayman. They can also give information on Caribbean Haven as well, which of course is residential. And then Mr. Brent's program is the halfway house, which often will be for people coming out of Caribbean Haven or people in recovery already. But even starting with your GP, if you're struggling, you're drinking more than you used to, you've started dabbling with substances, or you're just not feeling like you used to, it's fair just to talk to your GP and talk to them about referrals. Sometimes they can do medications, they can do a referral for therapy, they can talk about who's available. Likewise, pretty much any of the mental health facilities, I'm friends with most of the owners of them, give any of us a call, and if it's not something that we do, we're happy to help you find someone who can. So there's no wrong way to start, right? Reach out to whoever you're comfortable with, and we can steer you in the right direction.
Brent Hides of Hope for Today Foundation and Dr. Alexandra Bodden of On Course Cayman. Thank you so much for joining me here at Radio Cayman, and have a happy holidays.
It's a privilege to talk about this most delicate subject.
Right now, let's check in with the newsroom.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The Headline News is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
With your headline news, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The Ministry of Health, Environment and Sustainability has announced today that Cabinet has formally approved activating the long-planned Cayman Islands Health Foundation in a bid to boost long-term funding for public health care. Once fully up and running, the foundation is expected to raise donor money to support HSA facilities and priority services such as mental health, easing pressure on core government budgets. In international news, U.S. President Donald Trump has appointed Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry as a special envoy to Greenland, saying he'll help make the Arctic territory part of the United States. Landry has called it an honor and posted that his goal is to see Greenland join the U.S., reigniting tensions with Denmark and Greenland's leaders who insist Greenlanders alone will decide their future and that Danish sovereignty and territorial integrity must be respected. The move underscores Trump's renewed push to expand U.S. control in the Arctic, citing Greenland's strategic location and mineral wealth. The row over Greenland comes as Washington is flexing its muscles further south here in the Caribbean. U.S. officials say the Coast Guard is now pursuing a third oil tanker linked to sanctioned Venezuelan exports after already seizing 2 ships this month accused of carrying or loading, quote, illegal crude for Caracas. The latest vessel, identified by maritime trackers as the Bella 1, reportedly refused a boarding request and fled into the Atlantic as President Trump's administration steps up its campaign to choke off oil revenue it says funds the Maduro government and drug-related crime, a move Venezuela denounces as, quote, piracy and, quote, aggression. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
As we celebrate the Christmas season, we thank you, our patients and partners, for your support. We wish you a blessed Christmas and peace, joy, and good health in the new year. From your friends and family at HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Born in Watering Place, Cayman Brac, on the 8th day of July 1936, Captain Fred Elman Scott was the 5th child born to Nalio and Vera Scott. Captain Scott was a quiet-natured child who liked going on the bluff with his grandfather Oscar Brown, swimming every Saturday evening and playing cricket down where Miss Alame's house sits now. He was very studious at Creek Elementary School and did very well under the tutelage of his favorite teacher, Miss Isley Connolly in BE. Following the tragic death of his father at sea, at age 14 he left school to work with Arnold Foster to support his family. In 1953, he joined his first ship, the Beretta, a local cargo vessel, signing on as deck boy, working his way up to boatswain. From 1953 until 2006, some 52 years, Captain Scott made his living working off the seas.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands, the ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom, the land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your Sister Islands.
Discover all that our Sister Islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And taking a look at the weather here. First, the current conditions. Outside here in Georgetown, 84 degrees, feels like 91. Winds out of the east at 13.5 knots and a relative humidity of 75%. And the forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies, continuing straight through into tonight. And the winds forecast to be 20 to 25 knots out of the northeast. Yep, going to be a little windy here. Seas rough with wave heights of 4 to 6 feet. A small craft advisory is in effect. So winds will be picking up, right now at 13.5 knots, and will be going up into the 20s later on tonight, I guess. So let's take a further look here and see what's going on with the weather. The synopsis is fresh northeasterly winds along with moderate to rough seas are expected across the Cayman area for the next 24 hours as a high-pressure system builds over the United States, eastern U.S., that is, and as a result tightens the pressure gradient over the northwest Caribbean. A small craft advisory is in effect from late tonight. Satellite imagery indicates a few low-level clouds across the Cayman area. So that's a fuller picture of what's happening in the Cayman area here. Well, a lot of discussion on talk today about traffic, the way people drive. Let me give out the phone numbers if you want to give me a call. Tell me what's happening in your neck of the woods, as they would say. 1-800-534-8255. That's compliments of Flow. Or you can also call the 949-8037, 949-6990, and WhatsApp. Message us, leave a voice note, give me a call. 925-3261 is the WhatsApp number. And as I was saying, we've had a number of times that we've talked about the way people drive. The police commissioner has described Cayman's driving culture as abject. In other words, really terrible. So why do people drive badly? So I went to my friend who knows everything, Mr. Google, and asked, why do people drive so badly? People drive badly due to a mix of psychological factors. Psychology is in here again. Due to a mix of psychological factors: stress, overconfidence, lack of awareness, also inadequate training. Driver's education. Inadequate training, focusing on tests, not real-world skills. Environmental influences, distractions like phones, vehicle features creating false security, and underlying life frustrations, which we all have, right? And we're talking about, anger, impatience. All those manifest behind the wheel, creating a perfect storm of poor judgment and risky behavior. Delving a little further into this, psychological factors and biases. Cognitive biases. Drivers often overestimate their skills. That's an optimism bias, they call it. Underestimate risks, or they justify their own risky actions while judging others harshly. They call that fundamental attribution error. So, when drivers are overconfident that they can drive, really well, or maybe they have a car that is, able to take those turns at high speeds, and you end up going around a roundabout, and this car can handle it, man. And you end up in the bush. You've seen them, like BMWs off into the bush on the side of a roundabout. Somebody thought that they could take that roundabout at any speed they wanted to, and ended up, going off the road and into the bush. What else do we have here? Stress and emotion, road rage, anxiety, and anger from daily life can turn cars into outlets for pent-up frustration, leading to aggressive driving. The daily frustrations of life, when we get into the car, we just don't leave them behind, right? We take them right into the driver's seat with us, and we kind of drive the way we feel, I guess. Somebody's made you mad, you drive aggressively, or you're anxious about something, you're thinking about what's making you anxious rather than concentrating on what's going on the road. Lack of awareness. Some drivers struggle with maintaining focus. Lack of social awareness on the road. Or simply don't realize how aggressive or distracted they're being. Inadequate training. I guess we see a lot of that in Cayman. Low bar for entry. Driving tests often teach just enough to pass, not comprehensive skills for complex situations, leading to a gap between basic operation and truly skilled driving. Experience gap. Many drivers never get enough real-world experience in challenging conditions, rain, heavy traffic, to develop confidence and good habits. Modern distractions and vehicle factors. Technology overload. Phones, in-car screens, navigation systems compete for attention, turning driving from a focused task into a passive activity prone to errors. A false sense of security. Comfortable, quiet modern cars can disconnect drivers from the road, making high speeds feel less dangerous and encouraging neglect of basic checks like blind spots. And underlying issues like frustrations, poor sleep, diet, and general stress from modern life can surface as impatience and aggression on the road, as the car offers anonymity for these negative feelings. Reinforce bad habits. When risky behaviors like speeding don't immediately result in accidents, become reinforced, making drivers believe they can get away with it. We have someone on the WhatsApp line there. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today. Hello? Oh, did we lose him? Okay. Well, bring us back, and we can talk about it. But those are some of the, things that lead to the way people drive. And personally, I think we need more education as far as, teaching people about getting behind a wheel of a car and what responsibility comes with that. Because, Some people may know the basics, but when you're out there on the road, you run into some things that, they didn't run you through when you went to take the test, right? Sometimes you have to really make an assessment of what the situation is and adjust to it. And, if you don't have enough experience, you haven't been taught how to deal with something, you make mistakes. We have a caller. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, sir.
Yes. How are you?
Not too bad. How are the holidays treating you so far?
So far, they're good. So far, good.
Well, that's good.
And how about you?
Not too bad. I'm thankful. School is closed now, so that's
you got a break.
That's well needed. Really appreciated. Mr. Glidden, down here at Dr. Thompson roundabout, we call it. Got two huge Santa Claus up there waving you.
Yeah.
Two artificial Santa Claus. But this morning, I got so emotion when I crossed this morning, saw them. And I was taught and told that we celebrate Jesus Christ on Christmas. That's when he was born. And that's what we celebrate, right? To my knowledge and so forth. Everybody has a different opinion on when he was born, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, a lot of people will be celebrating the birth of Jesus Christ. So this morning when I saw the Santa Claus up there, I'm like, this is just me, okay?
Yeah.
Because of my belief. We just keep putting this Christmas into a pile of material stuff. The decorations are beautiful, don't get me wrong. Beautiful to look at. But how many places can you look up and see an artificial Jesus, like how we got some artificial Santa Claus here and there throughout the island and the rest of the world? You understand? It touched my heart this morning to see that everybody celebrates different, I was never one from day one to be big up into the Christmas no more than I was told the reason for Christmas was the birth of Jesus Christ, right?
So you associate it with religion and going to church and Christmas? And
yes. And then when I went to Florida to live, and saw how my in-laws had make their Christmas so big and the Thanksgiving so big, and me coming from a small island, it was really something to get adjusted to. And then moving back home here now, several years now, I'm not going to say. And we call ourselves a Christian, what do you call it, a Christian island?
Yeah, Christian community.
And Christian community, nothing wrong with nothing. It's okay to be a Christian. Like I said, but everybody celebrates different. But those Santa Claus this morning, they just touched me to the core. And I want to know, how should we celebrate Christmas? I'm not going to ask you to tell me. I'll try to feel it out, ask my pastor about it, some of my church members about it. I teach my children and my grandchildren there's not such a thing as a Santa Claus. Santa Claus, your parents, and I say that a number of times on the radio. But I just wanted to say that how these Santa Claus touched me. I saw them for a couple of days now, don't get me wrong. But this morning, as I get closer to Christmas, they touched me this morning when it came to Jesus Christ's story.
So, I mean,
born in.
Do you find them offensive or sacrilegious?
No, nothing in that category. They want to put up a Santa Claus.
Mm-hmm.
It would be beautiful to put up a picture with Jesus Christ too. That's what I'm getting at. Where the pictures are with him. You know what I'm talking about. Where the statues are with him. You know what I mean?
A nativity scene with the manger or something.
Yeah, some people got them. Don't get me wrong. Some people have them there, but these two Santa Claus just hit me this morning. That I just been going to work and home. So the Santa Claus they're not messing about over a week now, and passing them every morning 6:00 and every evening 4:00. They didn't bother me until that. I guess I'm winding down, and I'm not going to no school, and your mind is,
Yeah.
is kind of relaxing. You're thinking beyond now the kids and the work and so forth. This is just my belief. I'm not here trying to criticize anyone or telling people not to celebrate the Christmas, how they want to celebrate it. But it just touched me to see how we can go so far into this Christmas thing with all the gifts. It has to be a gift.
Too commercial.
And it's too commercial. That is the correct word. Okay. And you know what I want to say? I have a problem, Mr. Glidden. A real big problem. I'm 69 years old. I travel a bit.
Mm-hmm.
And I work in stores on this island that requested super customer service to your customers when they come into your store. And let me tell you something. That is what Kirk Freeport instilled in me. And that's what Kim Allen companies instilled in me. And as I moved down the line and went to other places, Cable Wireless instilled customer service into me. And then I became a taxi driver. And all those customer service that I learned from them, how to treat people and so forth. I have a problem, Mr. Glidden, when I go out and I'm doing business and the customer service is nasty. Don't care what time of day you go. You can't get a good morning. If you purchase your item, they can't tell you thank you. They put your money on top of the counter. I have a problem with that, and I'm going to pray and ask God to help me to strengthen, to understand why these people are doing what they're doing and pray for them. Because customer service is very important. When I was working in these stores, that's me about to you, and other stores I worked in, you could not tell a customer, go down to the third shelf and turn left. No, we walk them to the shelves in the stores. And you don't point nobody to a shelf. If you're not that busy, I know the store's got signs up in the air. Now, don't get me wrong. But tell me how many people read their signs when they are ready or in a hurry. You understand where I'm coming from?
Yeah, but it's just nice to have someone help you.
It's nice. Yeah, you know.
It's so, like they care about you.
Yeah. And I got to tell you, I have a problem with it. I have a problem, and that's a big problem.
Yeah, I think we all do.
I will not, and I cannot accept the nasty customer service that we are getting throughout this world. And when I look at us and tell we minded we are lazy, let me tell you something. That goes off like a firecracker, and I just have to ask the Lord to please tie this tongue and zip my mouth with a real big zipper until I can get out of the store. You know, so I'm just hoping and praying.
Well, tell the manager. Complain to the manager. You know,
the managers, they can only do so much no more. And the first thing they say, K-Miner doesn't want to work, and they're tired of changing their staff, and they have to get another staff from another country to come to work in this store. Everybody goes to apply for a job. They're all fine and dandy. Yes, sir. No, sir. I will. I know what to do. And when they get in that front line, it changes automatically. Some people get good customer service, though, and some don't. I don't know. It's because I'm not wearing the right face that morning, or the right perfume, or I don't know, or the right clothes. Don't say, "Okay, man, I'll on a map on my chest, on my back, my flag." I don't know what it is. I can't deal with it. I really can't.
It is frustrating.
And I just want to
real quick. I got someone waiting on the line.
Yeah, I just want to say to people, look there. Take your time and drive, and don't let no one behind you blow you and tell you when to move, because then they do not know what is coming for you to move. And that is what's happening this morning. It is always happening. People do not follow no one to tell you when to come out. You come out of your own safe zone. I thank you, and you have a happy day. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Merry Christmas to you. We have someone else on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Hello. How you doing, man?
All right. How are you?
Well, we get close to Christmas now.
Yeah. You prepared for it? You got plans?
Yeah, man. You know, Yeah, well, I really don't have no more plans on eating some food, man, some fish.
Well, that sounds good.
That would be my Christmas Day dinner, God's spare life. Some nice steamed fish and sweet potato and things. Yeah, I do. I'm not worried about the fancy meals anymore, Turkey and ham and all them things like that.
Yeah, but you can't beat fish.
No, I gotta stick with the fish, man. That's who I am. Yeah, Chalo, I had to call the man and wish you and all the Radio Cayman staff Merry Christmas.
Well, thank you.
Hopefully we'll be around next year again to listen to some good music, especially Susan and Paulette. I don't hear her too often, But think back in 1976, man, when Radio Cayman first started, and I want to say Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to my schoolmate at Oxford Banks. That was good navigating through the years. I've been tuned to this radio station for 50 years, as long as it's been here, I never changed my dial, man.
Really?
Never. Well, sometimes I look for other bands in Cayman and things like that, because a lot of radio stations around here, but I stay with Radio Cayman,
Well, thank you very much.
I don't cut it off, because all night long I'm tuned to BBC, and well, sometimes maybe I don't get much sleep, but I just like to listen to BBC. It has a lot of nice stories in the midnight,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man, and I remember, Chalo, like I said, when they first started, that was a good staff there, still have a good staff, and that's great, Susan and Paulette has been some favorites, like you and Pastor Alison Ebanks. I always used to look forward to the midday news with you guys, Ken Smith, Lenny Hugh, and Nate Bush on the sports report. The sports report was so nice back then times. I believe it was because we were covering the whole Caribbean plus Cayman sports, So I really enjoyed the sports report back then times, a little bit more than what I do today. But I used to look forward to you and Pastor Allison, especially reading the news, man, at 12 o'clock. Those times I was self-employed and I was in my workshop, and I'd be waiting for that, It's really nice, I never hear you guys. You kept it simple all the way. I never heard you put on anything like speaking like an American or English or anybody. You were yourself all the way through until this day. And but everybody was good, JJ, all those boys came along, and it really sounds nice today. I enjoyed the staff there today as well, I guess when Susan and Paulette retire, Radio Cayman has hired a world-class presenter as well. I find that in Mrs. Guts, she's really nice in her broadcasting. So,
she's listening to you right now.
Yeah, but I always big her up still, man. She's class, she's value, man. I really big her up, Anyway, Charlie, I want to say, man, Merry Christmas, Happy New Year.
Well, Robert, thank you for those kind words. We really appreciate that you're such a big Radio Cayman fan, and you kind of detailed our history for us there.
Yeah, man. Why? It's so much you could say, but you can't say that with radio, man. I got to come on the radio sometime, Charlie, when you're there. I got to get there one day. and really chat to Cayman,
Well, thanks for all those kind words, and you have a Merry Christmas.
Yeah, man. God's spare life next year.
All right. Take care.
Bye.
We're going to take a break. Be right back with more Talk Today.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Cayman, let's talk about your internet and phone service. OFREC has published a draft proposal for new consumer protection regulations, and we want your feedback. The draft regulations propose new rules to modernize the sector, including proposals to limit back billing to 3 months, introduce a 5-day cooling off period for new contracts, and set mandatory timelines for resolving complaints. The draft also proposes extending these protections to small businesses for the first time. But these are just proposals. To ensure the final rules are practical and fair, we need to hear from you. All submissions on this consultation should be made in writing and must be received by 5 p.m. on January 8, 2026 at the latest. For more information, visit ofreg.ky/consultations or email consultations@ofreg.ky. OFREG, working toward a fair and reliable digital economy.
Rocky's Diamond is making Christmas shopping a whole lot easier. Check out their selection of watches, earrings, and more on Facebook and Instagram, and shop online at rockysdiamonds.com. Save 20% off with coupon code XMAS25, and they'll deliver right to your door. Or stop by the Rocky's Diamond showroom at 28 North Church Street, Waterfront Center. Don't wait till the last minute. These deals just won't last. Rocky's Diamond Christmas Sale at rockysdiamonds.com. Proceeds from the Rocky's Diamond Christmas Sale will also go to support the Spread the Word International Ministries campaign to support kids in Jamaica this Christmas season.
Jingle bell, pick up your feet. Christmas shopping at Le Classic cannot be beat. Quality style, luggage and leather, shoes that make you feel like you're walking on feathers. So step on in before stepping out. Come see what your friends are all talking about. We're here at the Strand, it's the season of cheer. Christmas time is here.
Merry Christmas from Le Classique. Come see us in the Strand, 11 a.m. to 7 p.m.
It's our 75th Christmas season at A.L. Thompson's, and holiday shopping has never been easier. Find great gift ideas for everyone on your list. Samsung TVs, JBL soundbars, PlayStation bundles, Bluetooth speakers, appliances, outdoor living, tools, and more. From big gifts to small surprises and stocking stuffers, we have something for every age and every budget. See our flyer in-store or online at althompson.com. Take the stress out of shopping and enjoy the magic of giving at A.L. Thompson's, now through December 24th.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and I have some Christmas greetings here on WhatsApp. It says, Mr. Glidden, I just want to wish all the staff of Radio Cayman a blessed and a happy holiday. May God bless you all for the wonderful work you are doing. Well, thank you very much. And we have a caller that's been hanging in there, so let's go to the phone lines. Good afternoon. You're on the air with Talk Today.
Good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Yep, you're on the air.
Nice, okay. I I wanted to call in from earlier. I was trying to call in from earlier when Mr. Brent and the other guest was in the studio.
Yes.
You know, we're in the Christmas season and it's a time to celebrate, right? And alcohol and drug use is going to be at its spike, at the peak of it this season. And I had wanted to really talk personal with your guests when they was in the studio, because I wanted to mention something that I heard that they were saying about, and I just kind of want to relate it to the Hope Foundation, wanting to know what were their intentions for this year, for next year actually, about the people that they lost hope for. Because we have drug addicts that are living on the street, living amongst us in the public areas, that do not take care of our public facilities. And that is a big issue for me, because me personally, I have a daughter and I like to bring her around with me all the time. Mm-hmm. And it's not a beautiful sight to see a person sleeping amongst ashes and butts.
Yeah.
Public, all hours of the day. And I could tell you one thing, but if we had enforcement and if we had people that really had hope for people, they would have been off of the street, not homeless, because sometimes they're not even homeless, they're just rejected by their family.
Yeah, that's one of the things that we talked about, where families just say, enough, I can't deal with this anymore, I'm not going to let you drag me down to where you are. I'm cutting it off right here.
Right. And then the worst part about it, they use the whole entire public as their restroom, their table, their bathroom. They bathe in public like as if it was like some sort of rainy day. But like when I look at this type of stuff, it doesn't look good in public, and it would discourage anybody from wanting to be in public with them.
Yeah.
And the biggest issue that I have,
especially if you have a child with you, it's.
Yeah, especially living in West Bay, the community is very small, it's very dense. We hold probably quarter of the whole population of the island, and we have the smallest police service in our community. I would like to know what is the police and whatever enforcement needed to do to get this thing cleaned up. We have a lot of messy people in West Bay, and it's just a handful actually. I say a lot because it's too much, but it's just a handful of messy people.
But it's very visible, right?
In our district.
Hello?
What are they going to do with these handful of messy people? You know what one of them told me? Talk to your government. I was like, my government?
Who told you that? What, one of the people that you're talking about?
Yeah, I don't want to name out no names because they might have family members that might feel offended. But hear what? If it don't offend them, they're not doing the job right. And hear what? We have a lot of people that know the people in the community, and they just allow it to happen. And then when we look at it, we're going to go and blame the enforcement for not doing anything. I say, we have a lot of issues that I have concern about in our community, but there's not one soul willing to do anything about it. Who is going to do something?
Yeah, I guess if they're not actually breaking a law, that the police can't just scoop them up, you know what I mean?
Mr. Charles, loitering is against the law, isn't it?
I don't know. Is it arrestable though?
Most public
you
parks,
just got a fine.
There's a sign in most public parks that says no sleeping in the area. There's no doing alcohol, drinking, nor doing drugs. But then yet they're doing it in the exact spot, claiming that it's not them. And then they're defecating in public and all those different type of things. And there's nothing.
Well, that would certainly be against the law.
You see, what happened is, right, we look at some people, and then we afraid to spit on the ground that they're sitting on, and this is the biggest problem that we got on this island. We do not call out ugly when it's ugly. And it's very ugly to see people in the public doing drugs that are actually high while we're speaking to them, because they're just like, you can see it. You know, they talk about the signs of people that have mental illness, and then they have indications that you can look at the way how they present themselves, the way they take care of themselves, the way how they, you know, and then yet you cannot identify a drug addict when you see them on the street. I don't get it, because they're 24/7 high, and sometimes when you don't see them, they're on their crash movements. They're on their crash. They're like a hibernating mode. You're not going to see them again until they're ready to go and do whatever they're doing all once again. They're 2, 3, 4 days straight up in the night causing trouble, stealing from people's properties, trespassing, doing all the illegal activities, and then yet we still going to find an excuse to excuse them? Look here, we have a problem on this island until someone is found unalive. Then we're going to start doing something.
Yeah, well, if they're stealing, of course, you know, I mean, that's obviously an offense.
They don't have a job. That's their regular thing. And then the worst part about it, a lot of them are hoarders. So when they get to crash out anywhere they go, they leave their belongings behind. And it's nasty. And our public officials are not doing anything about it.
But is there a particular area in West Bay where this is happening?
Yes. There's the public parks, which are like, you got the Garvin's Park. The other day I found a TV down there for whatever reason. No dumping is allowed there, but then yet we still doing it. There's the Teacher Al Park. There's the park that is in the Scholars Park. There's the Heritage Park. Which other park do we have in West Bay that I can mention? Because according to how the public is going, it's allowed to do whatever you want to do in public.
So these people hang out there.
These people live there.
They live there. Okay.
They live in these areas, and no police are checking up on them. When people check up on them and call the police, what happens? Not a thing. And you know the worst part about it? Try to say something to these people. They're tyrants.
So they act as if they have a right to be there.
Right. And I must talk to my government. The government is the people. And if the people don't do nothing about it, we're going to constantly keep depending on the government, because like what Ronald Reagan said, I am the government and I am here to help. It's 9 most terrifying words in the English language. I'll stick with that.
Yeah, well, you would think, you know, if they have become a public nuisance, stealing, doing drugs in the parks, that the police would go in there and, you know, try and move them out or arrest them.
Yeah, and you know the one thing that aggravates me the most, sir, because I'm a person of discipline. I raised like that. I got grandparents, aunts, uncles, my parents alone. You know, I was taught to be disciplined. And you know the worst part about it? When you have people that are in positions, the police first, especially the police, and then they're going to call and tell you that, okay, we're going to make the report for you. What? I just made a report to the police, and then they got to make a report to the police. And you know what? I get tired of them sometimes, you know. Not to bash the police service, it's just some individuals in the police service that we got, they don't know what the hell they're doing.
So does that mean that they're just going to file a report that there was this complaint?
Officers.
Yeah, I hear you. I hear your frustration, because you know if you're complaining to the police, you would think that some kind of action is going to be take place to correct the situation.
Yeah, they're just decorations. You know, we're in the Christmas season and we need to see more of them. Yeah, decorations. I not to insult none of them, all of them, because they have some of them that I have big respect for, and they know it. And they know it. But we have some of them that are a bunch of tyrants.
Well, listen, I'm into my break time here, but thanks for calling us and making us aware of what the situation is in West Bay.
Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to everyone, especially when the radio came on, you know, for holding such a beautiful station and keeping it real.
Well, thank you for that. I wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year also.
Thank you.
All right. You take care. Good to hear from you.
Yes.
Yes, time for us to take a little break here. Stay with me. I'll be right back.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit caymanairways.com/cargo.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Water Authority Cayman wishes to advise its valued customers of the following holiday hours at both its Grand Cayman and Cayman Brac offices. On Wednesday, December 24, offices will be open from 8:30 a.m. to 12 midday, and cashiers will close at 11 a.m. The office will reopen on Monday, December 29, 2025. On Wednesday, December 31, office hours will be from 8:30 a.m. to 12 midday, and cashiers will close at 11 a.m. The office will reopen on Friday, January 2, 2026. The board, management, and staff of the Water Authority wish its customers and the public a safe and joyous holiday season. Starting January 1, 2026, the minimum wage in the Cayman Islands will increase to CI $8.75 per hour. This change is designed to ensure fair pay and to support workers across the islands. Whether you're an employee or an employer, it is important to understand how this adjustment affects you. Learn more about the new rate, how it's applied, and what it means for your workplace by visiting gov.ky/DLP or email minimumwage@gov.ky.
Kirk Freeport's annual $40,000 sweepstakes is back just in time for your holiday shopping. Simply spend $100 at your favorite Kirk Freeport store before noon on Christmas Eve for a chance to win all season long, with cash prizes of up to $5,000, premium gifts, and a Rolex watch giveaway. The more you shop, the better your chances to win. Get gifts for everyone on your list at Kirk Freeport, with duty-free prices, zero shipping delays, and the chance to win a piece of the $40,000 sweepstakes. View full details on kirkfreeport.com.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drportercayman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Yes, what is on your mind? And you can give me a ring and let me know. The numbers to call, 1-800-534-8255. That's toll-free, compliments of Flow. If you're not a Flow customer, well, you can give us a ring on 949-8037, 949-6990, and WhatsApp 925-3261. Call, let's chat, let me know what's on your mind. I see the police have reported that more than 70 arrests have been made in the first week of their Winter Guardian operation. I know I've noticed an uptick in police presence around Georgetown, even up into the Prospect area. So they've been out there. Let's see, this Operation Winter Guardian began on 11th December, and so far 15 people have been arrested, I guess, for drink driving offenses, 10 for robberies, and about 15 for drug-related crimes. So that's what the police are reporting so far. And I guess when people call and say that they don't see police presence, or the police aren't arresting enough people, checking people for drunk driving, this is the kind of thing that I guess they want to see on a regular basis. This is probably the kind of effort that takes extra personnel, and I don't know what it would take to sustain this kind of operation, on a regular basis. But it has certainly caught quite a few people in the net here. And still thinking about that call that we just had, describing the situation in West Bay where, you can't take your child to a park without, running into someone who's taken the park as a place to live, get drunk or do drugs. And that often happens in those kind of public spaces. I mean, I don't know how many times I've seen where the government or even a community group has established, a place where people could go and just relax, enjoy a little nature. And, someone will always make the comment, oh, yeah, well, another place for the druggies and the drunkards to hang out, and, making it a place that you don't want to go, which is exactly what our caller was saying. He'll take his child with him someplace, and here is someone who is under the influence of drugs or alcohol, who has literally hit rock bottom, I guess, and living in a park or some other place, and really making it a place you don't want to be. When the whole idea was to make it a place that you would like to take your child, but who wants to expose their young child to some of the things that these people go on with? And as we heard in the first part of the program, there is help for people like that, but I'm pretty sure in the case of the Hope Foundation, Hope for Today Foundation, rather, that's a place where the person themselves have to want to make a change, because Hope for Today Foundation is a halfway house. So the person has to have taken some steps before in an effort to try and recover from addiction. And that's where they come in, creating a residence, a live-in situation where people can have a safe environment that they want to try and improve their life. People that we see on the street or in parks, that, like I said, have literally hit rock bottom. Because the caller was saying, what are their plans, right? What's the plans? What plans do Hope for Today Foundation have? They aren't ready for that yet. They have to do something, take some other steps before they would reach Hope for Today Foundation. Perhaps a place like Caribbean Haven is where, they would have to go to first, because a lot of people that are at Hope, they may have already gone to Caribbean Haven, taking those initial steps to try and get their life together. And then they step out and go to Hope for Today, and ultimately adjust their lives so that they can cope with the real world. And it's interesting, some of the things that came out in that first interview today with Brent Hydes and Dr. Alexandria Bodden, but about the things why people end up in that type of situation, and one of the things that came to light, Dr. Bodden was saying one of the threads that is common to addiction is people believing that they're not, quite good enough. This self-esteem, that they think of themselves as not making the mark, so they turn to drugs, turn to alcohol to ease that frustration, that pain of how they think of themselves. And when people reach a certain point, not even their families can deal with it anymore. The family has bailed them out one time too many. They've given them money one time too many times, and there is always that hope that, they're not going to do it again. The promise of, I'm not going to let you down. And it never seems to work out. And finally, the family draws the line and says, don't come back again. I'm not going to bail you out again. I don't have any more money to give you. Stay away from the house. Where do they go? The park? The street? Turn to stealing to try and make a few bucks to buy some drugs. So eventually they may get into trouble and get into the courts, that the courts refer them to, some kind of rehabilitation. Or maybe not refer them, but order them, rather, to enter rehabilitation. And even then, they don't necessarily make it out. It's 2 o'clock. Time to see what's making headlines.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
With your latest headlines, I'm Elizabeth Charles. The Cayman Islands Bankers Association, or CIBA, is cautioning that if a stranger online asks to park money in your Cayman account, that, quote, easy cash could make you a money mule. CIBA has launched a new consumer awareness campaign warning that criminals are using social media, messaging, and gaming apps to recruit people to move illegal funds through their personal bank accounts. The association says you should never let anyone use your account, never agree to keep a percentage of money sent to you, and walk away from any offer that tells you to keep it secret or not talk to your bank. Anyone who gets these messages is urged to stop, to not move any money, and contact your respective bank or the RCIPS Financial Investigation Unit for guidance. In international news, a top Russian general has been killed in a car bombing near Moscow, the third senior officer to die this way in just over a year. Lieutenant General Fanil Sarvarov died after an explosive device detonated in his car today. Russian investigators say they are examining several leads and suggest Ukrainian intelligence may have orchestrated the attack, though Kiev has not commented. Pakistan's former Prime Minister Imran Khan and his wife, Bushra Bibi, have been sentenced to 17 years in prison each after a court found them guilty of illegally retaining and selling state gifts. Prosecutors say the couple declared luxury gifts, including jewelry from Saudi Arabia, at just over $10,000, far below an estimated market value of about $285,000, allowing them to buy the items cheaply while Khan was in office. Khan's lawyer says he will appeal, while his party calls the closed-door jail trial a, quote, black chapter, and claims the case is politically motivated. Accusations the government rejects. Those are the latest headlines. I'm Elizabeth Charles.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
This holiday season, let Kirk Market do the roasting so you can do the hosting. Visit in-store or shop online and order your traditional family feast, complete with classic roasted turkey and ham, all the tasty sides and trimmings. Let the chefs at Kirk Market be your holiday helpers so you can spend less time in the kitchen. Order online at kirkmarket.ky or visit in-store today. And don't forget to visit the florist at Kirk Market to find the perfect centerpiece for your table. There's no place like Kirk Market for the holidays.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's see what's happening with the weather. 84 degrees here in Georgetown. Feels like 92. And wind starting to pick up. Looks like 14, almost 15 knots now coming out of the east-northeast. And forecast calls for partly cloudy skies, and that's straight through to the night. And the winds will be picking up even more. According to this forecast, we can expect winds out of the northeast at 20 to 25 knots. And seas are rough with waves running at 4 to 6 feet. A small craft advisory is in effect, so take care if you're out there on the boat. Yep, looks like it's going to be windy into the evening. Well, we're into our last 25 minutes or so of talk today. And what's up with you? Pick up the phone. Give me a call. Let's chat. 1-800-534-8255, compliments of flow, or 949-8037, 949-6990. And you can even use the WhatsApp, of course, 925-3261. And taking a look at things here, I see we've got more airlift coming into Cayman. So I see Delta has added 2 more flights to Cayman coming out of Detroit and also New York. And, just recently we've got 2 more flights coming out of Canada. So the airlines must think highly of the future as far as Cayman's tourism is concerned. So looks like on the tourism, especially the stayover aspect of it, the forecast there is looking very bright. If we've got all these airlines trying to fly in, flying into Cayman, and they must have the numbers, to justify them putting in their flights. Because one thing for sure, they don't fly on speculation. They before they go and add flights like that, they have done their research, and they see where Cayman is a in-demand destination. So things looking good there on the tourism front. And just recently also we've seen where still people, the government is and the private sector trying to encourage Caymanians to take advantage of jobs in the tourism industry. And certainly jobs are there because we have more hotels coming online, and things are going to be, brighter as far as hospitality jobs are concerned. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air.
Good afternoon, Mr. Cello, and good afternoon to everyone listening in. I heard you say you're looking for someone to talk to.
Yeah? What's on your mind?
Well, a million things. Lots of things.
I don't know if I have time for all million of them, but we'll try.
Pardon?
I said I don't know if I have time for all million things, but we'll try.
Yeah, I'm referring to meaning plenty things. Anyway, yeah, I had a very hard-working weekend, so just got some time, and I heard you on there because I tune in every time radio came on, listening to what you all have to say. So I'm just here on the edge of the bluff, getting a nice cool breeze. It's about 12 to 18 knots up on the bluff, and 10 to 15 on the lowland. Temperature is 85, and so far I think most things are okay. Not most things, but it's normal in Caymanbrack, and lots of people preparing for Christmas. Just a few days left, and putting up their lights. A lot of them got their lights up, and it's to drive around in the night in Caymanbrack now is really impressive to see the amount of Christmas lights that is on display.
So is there one any one residence that goes like way out, like where people go and actually look at the decorations each year in the
yes,
Brack?
the most popular area is Mr. Mark Tibbetts, our district commissioner's property by the L&M Superstore on the bluff side, Caymanbrack. Yes, numerous people stop there with their children.
So he's got quite a light show going.
Yes, it's probably about 250, 300 feet long against the foot of the bluff. The lights are actually on the lower face of the bluff, and that is magnificent. Very beautiful lights. Santa Claus and many other ornamental things with the lights on it. That is the biggest area. And then our ex-district commissioner, Mr. Audley Scott, he has a very nice one. And there's a few private homes that has very nice displays as well. So a lot of children will ask their parents, let's go look at the Christmas lights. And that's a traditional thing now, with all these lights that be put up. It's very nice. So, and like I said, everyone is preparing, and make sure to be extremely careful during the Christmas on the roads and all around, because we want it to be safe.
So, is drinking and driving a problem in Caymanbrack as it is in Grand Cayman?
Grand Cayman, with the population down there, would be worse, but most of the fatalities we've been having on Caymanbrack was related to drunk driving and speeding. I mean, that's tragic and sad with how many youngsters we have lost. I mean, middle-aged men and young men. Regrettable. It's very sad, but that's the main causes of the accidents.
Yeah, that drinking and driving doesn't mix, does it?
Certainly not, and you're putting your life at risk and many others, yes, when you get behind the wheel drunk. Yes, suppose colliding with a van that got a public bus or something like that. So all that, the police ought to be very vigilant in patrolling all hours to look out and find the people that may be unstable at the bar and and get them home or get the keys from them. I myself, not only being the savior of the seas, but the shipping and lives at sea. During my lifetime, I have actually cornered 12 total men that was drunk and getting ready to get in their vehicles, and intercepted them on the road and forced them off the road to an area. And one of them said, "What do you think you are? You the police or what?" I said, "Yes, I'm acting as the police now to get you to safety." Anyway, that's how it goes. Yeah, so we need whoever is out there and see their friends, what they call it, high at the bar, take them over and get them home, leave their car or whatever. And that's the way life will be prolonged and preventing many things from happening. Change the subject now. The Cayman Islands flag now is being flown on the 6th largest tanker in the world. And it passed south of Grand Cayman last week, coming from China, going to Texas, the load, and it's coming back north of Cayman Brac early around the end of this month, and I will have it to celebrate the New Year's celebration with a Cayman Island flag tanker. Now that is something unique. It's owned by a Greek company, and it's going to load crude oil in Texas and head back this way and go into South Korea. Also,
Raymond, is that unusual that a Cayman flag tanker?
Yes, that is correct. Very unusual. Yeah, we want more of them. Whatever they can do to get more advertisements and get a more competitive rate for the registration of ships in the Cayman Islands need to be done, because we have great competition now. Cayman Islands is the second largest, or the world's largest register of shipping for mega yachts, super yachts, mega yachts, and all of that. But we have a competition. The Marshall Islands have been taking actually yachts that register in the Cayman Islands.
Do you have any idea why we don't get the tankers?
It's publicity and connections with the companies, and also due to the price per tonnage, depending on what you can offer per tonnage to register the ship per tons and have them placed under the Cayman Island flag. Competitive prices, given a lower price than the world's biggest ship registry, Panama and Maduro in the Marshall Islands and Liberia.
So that's why we get more of the super yachts and the private yachts.
Yes, we are known for that, to be the world's number one ship registry for mega yachts and super yachts like that throughout the world. Also, quite interesting, I communicated with a Cayman Island flag super tanker. That was 1 week ago. Nordic Spade, S-P-A-D-E, like a shovel. Nordic Spade. Captain is from Ukraine, and he's being paid $13,000 per month on a Cayman Island flagship, and the crew is...
He gave you his salary? he let you know his salary?
He didn't tell me that. No way. No, I didn't ask him that, but I know about it.
Oh, you have your sources.
Yeah, correct. And he is the captain, and the complement of Filipino, Indians, and Ukrainians are on the Cayman Island flagship. And quite interesting, I had 4 guys, youngsters, in their early 20s, called me up about what it takes to get a seafaring job. And I told them, the channels you have to go through, and now you have to be a licensed captain, master mariner, or chief mate, or whatever.
These are Caymanians?
Yeah, 4 people from Grand Cayman. They've been listening to me on the talk show, and they phoned me up and said, Mr. Raymond, what it would take I would be interested in something like that, on going on a ship and going all those places like our forefathers done. That's quite interesting. So, and we need, say Cayman Brac here, I would like to see we start up talking about we got a heritage house in Northeast Bay. Start up our heritage employment with teaching maritime schooling in the school somewhere, special building, and have an experienced master mariner. I know the ideal person for it. He's retired now, but I don't know if he would be interested. That is Captain Radley Scott, my brother, but he is living between Grand Cayman and Miami. But he has 57 years seafaring, and he was the youngest sea captain, I think, from the Cayman Islands at age 19. And Captain Ed.
He was a master mariner at age 19?
Yeah, correct. He left Cayman Brac at age 16, working as a messman. Messman, that means working in the kitchen, tidying up and washing dishes and pots and pans at 16. And he excelled so much. When he was 19, he became captain of a ship, and he got
That's 3 years. That's amazing.
Yes, also
and at such a young age.
Captain Ed Lee Martin, I think he was master mariner at 21 years old. So there are people with outstanding accomplishments from Cayman Brac. We had the highest number of sea captains of any place in the world per capita, Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. And today, there's only 2 young men from Spot Bay, Cayman Brac, that is active. Only 3 Caymanians from 3,000 about 75 years ago. We come down to 3.
Yep, that's the new Cayman. Raymond, it's good to hear from you.
And I called last week to wish you Merry Christmas, but again, I can repeat it. Merry Christmas, and may good luck follow you, and a long life to all, and be extremely careful. Let's make it a very safe and enjoyable Christmas to everyone.
Merry Christmas to you, Raymond.
Most welcome. Thank you very much. Okay.
Going to take a break. Be right back.
Stay cyber secure with Cayman National. Here are a few tips that will benefit you. Ensure to log out completely when you finish any online banking activities. Be aware of phishing attempts and only click links from trusted sources that are sent from your device through emails and messages. Remember, Cayman National will never ask you for your credentials. If you suspect a fraud attempt or that your account has been compromised, please immediately contact our customer support team at 949-8300.
Shipping to the Cayman Islands is fast, reliable, and seamless thanks to Cayman Airways Cargo. Need it faster than ocean freight? Cayman Airways Cargo offers multiple cargo flights to Grand Cayman from Miami weekly, so your packages, whether big, small, or in between, will arrive in no time. You can even use a Cayman Airways Cargo US address for your online shopping. Cayman Airways Cargo is also the only carrier providing air freight services for Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Contact us today and see why Cayman Airways Cargo was voted as Cayman's best cargo and logistics company in the Best of Cayman Awards. For details, visit CaymanAirways.com/cargo.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Freedom, Cayman Brac. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Babe, not tonight. You keep poking me and I need to be rested for meetings tomorrow.
What? I was almost asleep. That's the mattress spring I keep telling you about, not me.
we really need to get a new mattress.
Tossing and turning, back hurting, can't sleep? It might be time to turn in your old mattress and go to bed with a new one. Browse the huge mattress showroom at Brand Source Home Gallery and pick the perfect mattress today. With mattresses to suit every budget, Brand Source Home Gallery stocks a wide selection of sizes and styles like pillow top and gel memory foam. So stop tossing and turning and sleep better tonight with a new mattress from Brand Source Home Gallery, Dawson Drive, Industrial Park.
Shop at Funky Tanks, the home of electronics and more. Check out Funky Tanks' 2 locations, Shedden Road and Countryside Savannah, for loads of fireworks for your Christmas and New Year celebration. Also, new stock has just arrived. Funky Tanks, both locations, open 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. December 19th and 20th. And on Christmas Eve, open 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Open 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. December 29th and 30th. New Year's Eve, open 8 a.m. to 11 p.m. Funky Tanks. For more info, call 949-0998. Merry Christmas and a happy and prosperous New Year from the management and staff of Funky Tanks.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. We got a few minutes left in the show. Want to chat a little bit? Pick up the phone, give me a call. And looking at some of the news articles around Cayman, see they're once again trying to get Little Cayman designated as a UNESCO World Heritage site. It wouldn't be the whole island, of course. That wouldn't work out too well as far as private property and all that is concerned. But it had been tried once before, but we didn't meet all the requirements for UNESCO for being designated to have areas designated as World Heritage sites, you know. But they are going to be trying once again, and let's see what it was saying here. We were placed on a tentative list in 2023, so that was 2 years ago, and the original nomination focused on Little Cayman's marine parks, reefs, and protected coastal environments, and that would make up most of the shoreline of Little Cayman. But it would be nice to have, those areas designated as UNESCO World Heritage status, and have them placed on that list, because I don't know if you've ever been to Little Cayman, but you certainly feel removed from, the environment that has developed here in Grand Cayman, where, it's traffic and lots of buildings. It really is a place of tranquility. I remember the last time I went to Little Cayman, what struck me there was just the quiet, the lack of traffic. You walk down the road in Little Cayman, you could practically walk in the middle of the street because cars are so infrequent, and you just feel more relaxed. You feel like you've actually gotten out of the hustle and the bustle. Remember when Grand Cayman was like that? Those days are gone for us, and I don't think anyone really wants to take us back as far as Grand Cayman is concerned. Back to when it was so quiet that you could hear cars coming from a distance because that was the only motor that was close by. There was actually a time in Cayman when people could tell whose car it was by the sound that the motor was making, right? You know, because different engines had a different kind of tone to it. And you could say, oh, that's so-and-so's car coming. Kind of telling my age now, right? But those days are long gone. I don't think we'll see those days that came on and Grand came on again. And that's why it's nice to have a place within the Cayman Islands that you could get away to. And Little Cayman really offers that. You know, I've only gone to Little Cayman, oh gosh, I don't know, probably no more than 4 times in my entire life. But it is always a very relaxing experience. You know, what they have the porch of no ambition. Is that what it's? Yeah, I think it's the porch, right? Yeah, the porch of no ambition, where you just sit and enjoy the quiet and tranquility of Little Cayman, and you spend a long weekend in Little Cayman. You really feel refreshed. It's even better. People say, "Oh, I got to get away," and they get away to Florida, you know, go Orlando, Tampa, Miami, and by the time you get back home, you're tired from your trip. You know, you need a day to recoup before you can go back to work because the trip itself was so exhausting. But you go to Little Cayman, oh man, you can really recharge your batteries and just clear your mind out, right? Just being there, going to sit on the beach, and there's not a lot of people around you or anything like that. You know, you can even just have a private moment, just you, the waves lapping against the beach, and you know, birds singing in the trees, and you don't even have to try to meditate. You just automatically meditate and just clear out your mind and get refreshed, and you come back to Grand Cayman and you're prepared to face all the troubles of the world. But yeah, let's hope we get UNESCO World Heritage status for Little Cayman next year. Well, that's going to do it for me. I'm going to call it an afternoon here on Radio Cayman. Thanks for joining in. Have a great afternoon. I'm Charles Glidden.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
It's Basilia Barnaby Cuff at the controls.
And you're listening to Radio Cayman,
your number one station.